Hi everyone, this is Terence Tan over here, the Impossible Investor. Welcome to another Impossible Market update before the US market opens this evening in Singapore time. So I'm going to provide an update for 8th of May over here in this recording. Now, so let's take a look at what the sell-off in yesterday market brought about over here. All right, so we see a broad sell-off in the US market last night, something that actually followed through all the way to the closing as compared to the day before, right, after the tariffs announced by Trump. Okay, now, so we see the S&P cracking below the 20 days simple moving average over here, right, on a daily chart basis. Now, so that would signify that, hey, we have some weakening taking place in the markets right now. And we do see a slight increase in the selling volume based on yesterday over here. But note this as well, we did finish quite, not really severely, but we did finish quite above the lowest point for the sell-off yesterday. So we may actually see some stabilization coming into the markets today if selling were to stop. Now, but if you take a look at the S&P on a broader and longer term basis over here, on a weekly chart basis, the S&P is still well above the 20 moving average line, and that signifies that, hey, the bull is still in control, the bull is still intact. And we're pretty much seeing just a coming off from the double top formation over here. So if this is going to play out or not, nobody really knows. But as for now, the bulls still have in control right now. So we see a similar sell-off in the tech sector as well. So the triple Qs are right now sitting right on the 20 days moving average line as well. So is it going to go fully below, or is it going to rebound back above? That needs to be seen in the trading to come for the rest of the week. Right now, so I just like to talk about the market in general and the risk that we are facing right now. So over the last week, as the market corrected over here, we have taken some trades. Me and my Impossible Investors community, we have latched onto quite a couple of trades over here, and together with my pro traders as well. Now, so we have done what we call be greedy when other people are fearful, because we're seeing the sell-off. All right, but today I'm going to take a twist a little bit. All right, I'm going to twist it around, because if you look at the whole general market as a whole right now, all right, you will notice one thing. All right, there is a lot of appetite for risk. Okay, now what do I mean when I say there's a lot of appetite for risk? Because right now we're seeing record IPOs going out there in the markets. All right, now one of the most popular going out this week over here, or just very recently, is of course the alternative to meat. All right, and they label the company Beyond Meat. All right, now, so I'm actually a vegetarian myself. Yeah, all right. Being a vegetarian for the last 1 year, yes, I know there is very little alternative when it comes to, having meat over here or comparisons to meat. But, as a company, this may provide something that is really, really intuitive over here for a very niche market. But as a company as a whole, all right, the profitability comes into place. Yeah, all right. And for a company this new in the markets, justifying a 30% increase from its IPO price, it's anybody's guess over here, right? And on top of that, Zoom Communications over here has also done well since its IPO as well, and it shot up at least 30% and more by date. So there's another concern as well, all right? Because a lot of these companies, as of right now, as I speak, all right, they don't have a lot of profitability, or they're not even profitable to show for. All right, now what do I mean? All right, if we take a company as Eventbrite, now, so Eventbrite has been a company where it allows people to host their events over here and collect responses for people who might be attending their events. But as a company as a whole, it has not made money. It's been around for a very long time, and yet the model that has come up with has not been able to churn the profits out for them. So this is really a concern when it comes to a company with such business nature being able to list out there. All right, now, and of course, needless to say, we have Grab, we have Uber. We have other resources over here in Singapore, but in US they have this thing called Lyft. All right, Lyft is also something that's not profitable, and we all know by now, all right, these ride-hailing kind of companies over here, it is very difficult for them to have any decent kind of profit margins in terms of their operations. Now, so this is what I really mean over here, because we have a slew of others coming up, or has already come up, things like Pinterest, things like all the tech unicorns that are coming up over here. So this is what I mean when I say market has a big appetite for risk right now. And when the markets are what we call big appetite for risk, all right, it simply signifies that, hey, the market is trying to get greedy right now. All right, so when the market is greedy, all right, that's when we all know Mr. Buffett always say, all right, okay, when people are greedy, all right, it's time to be fearful. right? So, as impossible investors over here, we are trained to be greedy, all right, once the fear gets out there, all right? But when there's no fear in the marketplace, we are trained to be fearful as well, right? Now, so what I mean by fearful over here is, yes, we do take our chances, we do take our picks over here, but we're not silly with our choices, all right? We're not silly with our choices, and that's why we only stick to really, really good and strong companies, all right? And these are companies that are formed in terms of what we call an impossible stock list, which I curate over here and literally hand it over to my students, and they are only required to work from this basket or this list that I've created for them. Yeah, all right. Now, so let's just take a look at some companies that we traded this week. All right, we did some options over here on WBA. Yeah, all right. Okay, so we sold some put options, and look, despite all the selling over here, the company has remained pretty stable over here over the last 2 days of sell-off. All right, so that's a good sign over here. Now, next company that we sold some put options on over here is Intel. All right, Intel has also maintained its stability over the last 2 days, so we don't have a lot of concerns with the trades that we've taken. All right, another company that we traded this week was Altria. All right, Altria has done well as well, so it's not a concern that we have, although we have taken some trades into these counters over here. All right, now, so how do we say this? We are not silly when we go into the markets, all right? We make sure we exercise caution over here, because as an option seller, we have to take note, all right, that our business functions very much similar to what insurance companies go out there and do, all right? Now, you're going to win a high percentage of your times over here, but it is down to those losses or those claims when they come about, right? You have to make sure that you're liquid. As a company, as an insurance company, they do make sure that they need to have enough funds to pay off all the claims that is going to come their way. All right, sometimes in one, sometimes in truckloads, but they need to make sure they have that liquidity. All right, so what we do in the options place over here in the stock market, we make sure we do the same thing. So as impossible investors over here, yes, we sell options, yeah, all right, okay, but we do not want to own those stocks. But when trouble comes, we make sure that we're liquid, all right, and we are fine, and we do not meet problems that the markets will throw at us as well. Now, so when I do this over here, it makes sure that I'm able to literally run my option selling business in the stock market, right? Pretty much like how a successful insurance company runs theirs, right, in the whole marketplace, right? I'm aware of risk, but I'm going to continue running my business over here because I know that probability of success, probability of multiple trades over here is always on my side. All right, now, so I hope that makes sense to all of you over here. Now, so that's the fear in the marketplace. There's a lot of things that is going on. So, we're seeing some softening stance over here, and we have that whole sell in May and go away concept coming up. It has not worked for many, many years by now, right? But this may just be the year because we are right at the peak, right? We're seeing a sell-off right at the start of May over here. But, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, right? We'll see what happens from here, and then we'll react accordingly. Yeah, all right? So I'm going to continue to write or, record my video updates over here on a day-to-day basis. So, if you think it's useful for you, do subscribe to this channel, all right? Or do leave a comment over here to let me know how I'm doing or anything else I should be covering in my videos that can help you understand the markets a little bit better. Earning seasons is still on the way, so beware, all right, when you trade out there. Now, so I just want to highlight one of the recent trades that we did over here that I've done with my Pro Traders community. Now, so if any of you have followed my Instagram over here under Impossible Terrence, so I literally post out a winning trade that we did, right, just over a span of 3 days from last Friday to the closing order that we did yesterday. All right, now, so this was a trade on lows over here. All right, so what we did was this. All right, we had lows over here. Okay, great. Now, so moving back 3 days over here, this is where, at the start of May, yeah, probably here. Yeah, okay, all right. Now, so we had low sitting right about here, and we decided to take a stance of, it going downwards, and we're going to buy a put option on it, and that's what we did. All right, so last Friday itself, I initiated a buy, lows, 19 July expiry, $120 put, all right, at a cost of $9 over here. Yeah, all right, okay, now, so turning around from that over here, 2 days later, just yesterday night, which is Tuesday for this week over here, we actually turned around and closed this trade over here by selling off the option that we purchased, all right, the same 120 put over here, but we sold it off at between 12.25 to 12.30 over here. So that will represent a profit of $3.30 in just 3 days, all right, on an initial investment of $9 to purchase that put option. Now, that will represent a 36.7% return in just 3 days for my Pro Traders over here. And as you can see, a lot of them in the community over here has benefited from it. This was posted as of 11 p.m. last night, so many of them has continued to announce their profiting positions later on after that as well. Okay, now so let's just take a look at how the trade actually plays out over here. Right now, so if I go to the Thinkorswim Analyze tab over here and use the Think Back feature, right now, so this is where the low stock price was sitting around 112, all right, 112, and we went all the way to 19 July expiry, which gives me about 78 days, all right. So when I did this trade, I had about 78 days before this options expire, all right, and I paid about $9 for it, yeah, all right, $9 for it, all right. Now, so what happened over here was this. After turning around and buying it over here, all right, I'm able to actually close it out yesterday night, all right, and you saw in the alerts over here, I closed it out at about $12.30. All right, now of course, if I held it all the way throughout towards the later of the day, all right, lows continued to trickle down, yeah, all right, it fell off quite a bit towards the end of the day, all right, I could have actually closed that option instead for about $13.60 instead, yeah, all right, that would represent almost a 40 over 50% return in just a very short span of less than a week over here. Now, so this is really showing you what's in store for the markets right now. When the markets turn, stocks can fall off really, really quick over here. Now, so this is just one play that we have over here in the Impossible Investors community. And this summarizes the trade that we've taken out yesterday and a profiting position that we've taken out. All right, now that's all I have for this update over here. Meanwhile, let's see what happens with the markets when it opens tonight. Will it stabilize? Will it continue to sell off? Whatever the case, we react accordingly. If we get more opportunities, I'm going to start finding out those trades. I'm going to start issuing out to the community members as well as we take on more trades for our portfolios during this period. I love volatility. There's nothing else to say about that. All right, now, so this is Terence Tan, the Impossible Investor, signing off in this video over here or this market update. Stay safe, stay sane, stay impossible, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.